Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name's Marissa and today I'm going to be doing the spoiler tag. So this one has been going around BookTube lately and the original video is by Gunpowder Fiction and Plot, and I will link the original video, of course, and the content creators down below in the description box as usual, and I will also put all of the questions down there just in case you guys would like to copy and paste and do these yourselves. So let's get into the tag. So the first question is, what do you consider a spoiler? So for me, obviously a spoiler is anything to do with the main plot that happens more than, I don't know, the first 50 pages or so, because there's some things that are integral to the plot that, you know, are described in you know, on the back of the book or something like that, that it's essential to kind of talk about in order to discuss the book. So I don't really consider those spoilers. So yeah, I guess anything after the first 50 pages is kind of like spoiler territory that would ruin the plot. So the next question is, does the genre you're reading impact what you consider to be a spoiler? Yeah, I guess. So this is something that Berna over at Berna's Bookish Adventures talked about, and it really resonated with me. So she was talking about reading romance novels, and obviously knowing who the main character ends up falling in love with is kind of like a spoiler in some books, because there's some books that it's like blatantly obvious that they're going to end up together, but the journey of it is like seeing how they end up together. So yeah, I guess romance books, definitely. I don't want to know how they get together or who it is if there's like multiple love interests. With fantasy, I don't really care so much if somebody says, oh, hey, these two get together, you know, after a while or whatever, because it tends to be like a, you know, more of a slow burn thing, or well, sometimes insta love, but you know, anyway, off topic. But yes, so it really does. It really does depend on the genre. So the next question is, all the best bits are in the trailer. Sometimes the synopsis can be too detailed. Do you research books prior to reading them, or do you go in blind? No, I don't research books before I go into them. To be quite honest, most of the books that I've decided to pick up are either continuations of series that I have already read, something that I heard somebody else talk about on BookTube that I ended up, you know, really liking their description of. Obviously, I only watch the spoiler-free bits unless I'm not planning on reading a book at all, in which case I'll watch the spoilers because it doesn't really matter. So yeah, to be perfectly honest, I really don't research. I don't even look at reviews. I don't even look at star ratings because I don't want to know that stuff, because it will skew my perception of the book even if I don't want it to. So I don't really want to go into a book with any biases. You know, most of the time I don't even read the synopsis on the back, but I can see where this question came from, and I'm sure there are plenty of books out there whose synopses spoil things in the book. So this question is, sometimes the introduction or translator's notes can spoil the ending, especially for classics. Has this ever happened to you? Not that I can recall. I tried reading some classics last year. I do have a couple more classics on my bookshelf that I'm planning on picking up, but they're like familiar stories, so I already know them. But no, I mean, really not that I can think of, but again, I can see how this would happen for sure. So the next question is, name a time somebody spoiled a novel for you. I honestly don't really think somebody else has spoiled a novel for me. I know, okay, this I do know. I have spoiled it for myself because sometimes I'll be checking, I don't know why I do this, but sometimes I'll be checking how many pages a book has just so I can kind of gauge like what day I'm going to finish this book based on my normal reading schedule. And I will be looking at the page numbers but accidentally glance and see something on the last page, like just a sentence. And even though I didn't want to read it or see it, I saw it, and it's like, ah, crap, now I know what happens. Unfortunately, that kind of does happen to me a lot, where I happen to glance something, but it's not often that it actually ruins the book for me or ruins the experience of it, so that's definitely a good thing. Question number 6 is, have you ever spoiled a novel for somebody else? I don't believe so. I mean, honestly, like my one friend who kind of sort of reads the same books that I do, you know, when her and I are talking, if she hasn't read a book and I know she might be interested in it, I try not to even talk about it, just just because, like, I'll hype it up to her, but I won't be like, oh yeah, blah 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 happens and so dies, and you know, so and so kisses whoever, you know what I mean? Like, I just try not to do that. So yeah, no, not that I can recall. That would be a good way to ruin somebody's day though. Like, if you really hated somebody or somebody really screwed you over and they were a reader, you could just be like, oh, and by the way, that book that you're really excited to read, blah 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 happens. Like, yeah, stick it to ya. I don't know. I mean, I don't think I ever would hate anybody that much to want to do that, but hey, it's a good revenge plot for the future. Ooh, that could be a whole book. Somebody could write a whole book about somebody so hateful they just went around spoiling their enemies' books for them. Like, that would be an awesome plotline. Please, somebody write that book. Just give me credit for the idea. So anyway, the next question is, when reviewing, are you spoiler free? Does this limit your ability to discuss? Yes. Every time I review a book, I'm doing it spoiler free. There's been a couple of times with books that have been out forever that I was like, okay, spoiler alert, you know, this happens. Usually when doing a tag video or something, but it's for books that are so well beloved that almost every reader has either read them or doesn't even care to read them. So don't think I'm really ruining it for anybody. I don't think it really limits my ability to discuss as far as just telling people what the book is about. And really, that's the whole point of reviewing, is telling somebody what the book is about in order to get them to read it and not to spoil it and give it away for them. You want to hype people up so that they want to read this book. You don't want to give away everything so that there's no point in them reading it. So it does, but it doesn't really matter, if that makes sense. And then, of course, the last one is shout out. Tell us 5 channels you enjoy and then tag them. I honestly don't know who has done this tag and who hasn't. So anybody who wants to do it, please feel free to do that and let me know down in the comments if you guys end up doing it. So that is all that I have for you guys on the spoiler tag today. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for watching my video. I upload every Wednesday and Saturday, and I would really love it if you would like, comment, and subscribe my videos. Have a great day.